Welcome back, guys. So today is day one of brooding 50-day-old chicks, which are broilers for the first time. And the first thing I did early in the morning is to provide fresh and clean water with their anti-stress inside this particular water. So these are 4 liters of water, and I placed 3. After that, I had a call that my bird arrived. And which I rushed there to check the beds so that I can quickly move them to my backyard, because they have already been too stressed and I want to reduce the stress as much as I can. So what I did when I immediately I reached there is to inspect the beds and to check for whether there is any mortality or whether there is any defect. So I noticed that only one out of them is not that moving very well. It has some deficiency. It is not screaming and moving around like the others are doing. So I noted that down. Then, so upon reaching my house, I placed them down gently and I started counting them again and checking on them again for the last time before they have access to their pen. So I started checking on them, each and every one of them, and also counting them at the same time. Like I said, there is one out of them which is not giving me that good vibe. Not really happy with the situation I found this bed in. But all of saying, I just gathered every one of them inside the pen. I made sure they started drinking immediately. So I looked for those that are not yet recognizing the water, and just only just one of them did I support. So every one of them immediately recognized their drinkers. I was so surprised. So they went straight to their drinkers and they started drinking. So one of the biggest mistake I see a lot of people make is that they put the water, they also put feeders there, and also some might be using the wrong tray feeders or maybe like the wrong feeders for the day-old chick. Some might even load feeds because they are broilers. They are known well for eating large amount of feed. So people just put a bag of feed, maybe like those load their trays with a lot of feeders. So this is the best practice that I have learned and I followed. So the first thing you have to do is to make sure their water is there, so they have access to water. The first thing. Then the second thing is to make sure that after like some minutes that they have drank water, so that their chest or their throat will have been moist and the digestion of feed will now be much more easier for them. So then that is when you introduce feed to them. And also you want to make sure that the feed you are using is not metal. Do not start with metal for them. You can start with plastic or even like a carton. You can use a carton for them. For me, I started with carton. I don't have the plastic that I later on bought, but I just started with carton. I crabbed it, but there is one of the carton that actually wasted my feed. I did not craft it properly. So make sure you craft your carton properly, that they won't be able to, even if they are scratching, the feed won't be wasting on the ground. So I placed the carton after some minutes and they recognized the feed. They started moving towards the feed. Make sure that you have this kind of wrapper on the ground. Do not use sawdust. Sawdust might be on the ground, but make sure you actually add something on top of the sawdust, so that like paper, like reading paper or newspaper or anything, so that they won't, they cannot differentiate feed from sawdust currently now, and that might affect them. That might cause some indigestion and some problem for the chicks. So after maybe like 3 days to 4 days, you can remove the wrapper and they can start roaming around. They will recognize the feed already and they can clearly differentiate the feed from the sawdust. So after studying them for a while and seeing that they have recognized their drinkers and they are now eating, they are now drinking, then I just went inside and settled down. Now after some few hours, I noticed that you can see there is trampoline everywhere. Before, I covered everywhere and made sure that the temperature is okay for them. In case the temperature is not hot, maybe the weather is not hot at your own side, please watch the behavior of the chicks. So the behavior is what you use to actually know whether they are feeling hot or whether they are currently cold, or whether the weather is normal for them. So now I don't have a thermometer, but if you do have a thermometer, that will make it much more easier. If you don't have a thermometer like me, so you are just starting out, what I've learned is that you read the behavior of the chicks. So how do you read the behavior? So if they are all cuddling together, maybe they are just in one place and just they put themselves into one corner, that means they are feeling cold. You need to warm them up. You need to close the window blinds and make sure there is enough lighting and ventilation. Even though you are closing all these blinds, you should provide lighting for them, because they are artificial lights. So that's what I've done. Immediately they came, I dropped every of this tarpaulin and provided them with artificial light with one ventilation coming directly to them. I left only one window open. If the chicks are too hot, there is a way they will start spreading their wings and start panting. They will start panting. So that way you will know that the chicks are currently hot. So after some few hours, I went back to the pen and I discovered that they are feeling hot because the weather is extreme hot. Now there's a particular mistake that you might want to fall into. So it's to have in mind that no matter what, you still have to bring out charcoal and heat the room. If your room temperature is already hot, you don't need to heat the room anymore. So for my own situation, we are currently in the hot season in which everywhere is hot. So I don't need extra heat for them. I just made sure the tarpaulin everywhere was airtight, and it was sufficient for them. They started playing all around. They are evenly spread around. That's the indication that there is nothing wrong with the weather for them. So you read the behavior of the chick, and that's it. It will do the magic for you. If you have gained something into this video, please hit on that like button. And also, if you want to continue seeing their transformation, you want to see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, please hit on that follow and make sure you are following this particular channel, because I'll be dropping a whole lot of everything that is happening to this chick as they are developing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on day 2.